right now on News Channel 8 at 11.
Fire guts a home in Newport Richey. We have incredible video to show you tonight. Black Lives Matter protesters take to the streets of Ybor City the message they want the community to hear. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rod Carter. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Tonight, dozens of people who attended a Black Lives Matter rally in Ybor City are hoping that their voices have indeed been heard. Many tell us all of the recent events we've seen nationwide highlight that people of color are still treated differently. News Channel 8's Chip Osowski live tonight at Ybor City, where that gathering took place today. Chip?
Yeah, there were a lot of people, as you... Rod?
Chip Osowski reporting live in Ybor City for us tonight. Chip, thank you. And now to the horror in Nice, France. New details tonight about the truck driver who committed mass murder on the French Riviera. Tonight, his father is speaking out for the very first time about his son's troubled past. Here's Kelly Cobeya.
In the neighborhood where Mohamed Bouhelal...
Today, Turkey's president declared he is in control of the country after a deadly attempted coup that left at least 194 people dead. The uprising, led by a faction of the military, started last night. Military tanks blocked the streets there, bridges as well, and bombs were thrown at the parliament building. But just hours after that attempted coup began, thousands of military officials were arrested and many more later surrendered. Secretary of State John Kerry says the U.S. is working on locating all Americans inside the country.
At this moment, all of our embassy personnel are 100% accounted for and okay. We are working to determine that all of our citizens who are traveling in Turkey are equally well taken care of and protected.
Secretary Kerry does admit that the coup attempt caught Turkey and NATO off guard, but it did not appear to be very well planned, he says. The secretary did reaffirm the U.S.'s support to the Turkish government. All right, we have some breaking news out of Tampa to share with you tonight. Hillsborough County Sheriff's deputies are trying to find this man. They need help locating this missing 82-year-old man. His name is Maynell Benton Scott, and he walked away from Belvedere Commons Assisted Living Facility on Fletcher Avenue West about 6:30 tonight. Now, he is a white male, 6 feet tall, weighs 200 pounds. He was wearing a light blue shirt and gray pants. If you have seen him, know anything about his whereabouts, please call the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Now to a story that's all new. Some incredible video of a house fire in Newport Richey, and this comes from a News Channel 8 viewer. His name is Charles Jolly IV. Firefighters responded around 5 o'clock this afternoon to that home on Burns Point Circle. You can see how involved that fire was as they battled it. Now, the damage is very extensive, and you can see what looks like the garage to be completely gutted and a part of the roof collapsed.
There is extensive damage. There's extensive fire damage, smoke damage, and water damage. There was a lightning storm at the time of the fire. We are looking in that direction, but the fire remains under investigation.
The good news is no one was hurt and everybody did make it out safely. Family and friends held a fundraiser today for 2 landscapers who were shocked by power lines on Tuesday. Those men are still in critical condition tonight at Tampa General Hospital. Family and friends raised money for their medical expenses. Now, if you'd like to donate, you can go to Nancy Saligio's Facebook page. There's a GoFundMe page on there for you. There are now 18 new cases of the Zika virus in Florida. 4 of those are right here in the Bay Area. It is important to mention that all of these cases, all 18, are travel related. That means they did not originate here in Florida. 1 new case is in Hillsborough County. 2 are in Polk County. We now have our first case of the reported Zika virus in Manatee. All total, there are more than 300 cases in the state of Florida. 43 of those involve pregnant women. Nationally, there are more than 1,300 confirmed cases. Cannibal mosquitoes are apparently the new breed that may help stop the spread of this Zika virus. Lee County Pest Control now breeding mosquitoes to become cannibals. They're being bred in cemeteries where water sits and rain collects. If Florida has more Zika cases, the county will then let those cannibal mosquitoes loose.
These mosquitoes are cannibalistic, and they're going to go out and seek other mosquito larvae, primarily those that are in containers, such as Aedes aegypti and albopictus, and eat those larvae, so they don't even have a chance to become adults that could pick up Zika and transmit it.
Those cannibal mosquitoes could stop the virus from spreading. However, they are not a solution to actually getting rid of Zika altogether. All right, still ahead on News Channel 8 at 11.
I've admired the work he's done, especially in the state of Indiana.
Donald Trump officially introduces the other half of the Republican ticket.
And the bulk of today's rain has ended, but we're tracking similar shower and storm chances for Sunday. We'll get you set for the second half of the weekend coming up.
The Pokemon craze is taking a thrill-seeking turn. It turned right on into Busch Gardens. Today, for a couple of hours, Pokemon enthusiasts took over the park for a lure-a-thon. Usually, when you go to Busch Gardens, you try to see everything, take in all of the sights. But today, for a couple of hours, everyone seemed to be looking down at their phones. The park held a Pokemon lure-a-thon.
30 or 40? 40.
People of all ages roamed the park to capture Pokemon. There were more than 50 lure modules activated throughout the park, and people seemed to love it.
Walk around and catch Pokemon like in real time, and you get to meet a bunch of new people, go to a bunch of new places you wouldn't have gone before without this game.
And walking around, paying attention was key. Park officials tell us it was their #1 priority.
Safety is really always our first priority. If you come to the park and you're playing Pokemon Go, we ask that you are staying within the guidelines, the rules, don't climb on things. Our security and the safety of our guests and our animals and our ambassadors really is the first priority.
Keep those temperatures well above average all next week, but we do at least have some rain chances to cool us off each afternoon.
Oh, that's nice.
Hope I didn't put Omar on blast there.
Oh, no. You told all Omar's business. Appreciate it, sir. All right, coming up, the Rays' losing ways continue against the Orioles. But on a brighter note, check out this goal scored by the Rowdies tonight. Simply a thing of beauty. We're going to show it to you again in highlights in sports coming up in just a minute. Tonight's winning lottery numbers: cash 3209, play 4 6231, fantasy 5 31, 25 31 33, and lotto 53 3 8 4 5 23, and Powerball 11 50 40 17 62, and the Powerball number is 26. All right, final look at our forecast for the night and look at tomorrow.
A nice bright start to our Sunday tomorrow, but again tomorrow afternoon about a 40% chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms pushing inland during the afternoon and then drifting back towards the coast the second part of the day. Your high temperature 93 degrees, 3 degrees above average. It actually gets a little bit hotter as we head on into the upcoming work week. About a 30% rain chance the first half of the week, and then we'll bump that back up for Thursday and Friday. Pretty amazing. We've been through this entire month of July so far. We've yet to have a single day with below average temperatures, and as you look at the 8-day forecast there, more heat and humidity.
Yeah, it looks like more of the same.
You know what the best part about going to Rio is?
Not that.
It's like 75 there.
Oh.
It's winter.
It's nice.
It's the hemisphere thing. He knows about it. We don't really.
You had me at 75. So there you go. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night, everybody. Saturday Night Live is coming to you next.
Rod Carter continues our team coverage on the horror in Nice, and he joins us live with the details.
Hey, good evening, Jen, and good evening, Keith. Now, you probably wouldn't think we're actually at the airport. We are at the airport. That's a singer on stage here. We're between gates E and F. And they had this service, pre-planned Bastille Day celebration here. But instead of starting with the song as they're about to start up with right now, they started with a moment of silence. But as you mentioned, I did speak with two people with very strong family and friend ties to France, and they told me they were absolutely horrified by what they saw in Nice. Take a look. Joyce Michelle Rathlet and Gerald Chassong talked with me today at Oxford Exchange in Tampa about this. The attacks in their home country, France. They watched in absolute horror as a man drove through a crowded Bastille Day celebration, ramming that white truck into the crowd.
Very sad to see how easy it can be done, and makes us feel, sorry for everybody that was there and trying to enjoy themselves.
Rathlet was a wreck.
And it was heartbreaking. That's the only thing I can say, heartbreaking.
She spent half the night and most of the day today calling, checking in, concerned about friends and family that could have easily been in that area.
I have friends, I have family all over Europe and in France, and everybody was checking in slowly.
She checked in, too, on friends here locally.
One of my friend's sisters was there. She left 10 minutes before. And I had another friend who actually lives here who had a friend on top of one of the roofs watching the whole thing.
Watching another deadly attack in their homeland that left them and the world saddened, scared, and looking for healing.
It just remind me, and it's easy to share the pain with everybody else, you know, when you have a situation like this happening.
And again, music is greeting all of those passengers getting off planes here at Tampa International Airport. It's a celebration for Bastille Day, much like those folks were having a celebration there in Nice. But of course, we see how horrifically that ended. And these folks started this celebration with a moment of silence. Now, that woman I spoke with in the package there, the story, Joyce Michelle, she told me she spoke with a friend whose sister was on top of a building, Keith and Jen, when all of this was happening, watching all of that horror play out down on the streets below. Absolutely devastated by what she was watching.
Understandably so.
You know, a lot of people are having these kinds of discussions all across the country, and especially here in the Bay Area as well. And today, a group known as Pastors on Patrol will host that town hall meeting at 7 o'clock tonight, and it's talking about law enforcement and their interaction with the African-American community. It's called Breaking Down Barriers. Now, this, of course, comes in the wake of the killings of those 5 Dallas police officers last Thursday and the deaths of African-American men at the hands of police officers. The forum, to be held here at Beulah Baptist Institutional Church in Tampa, will address improving the relationship police have with the community they serve, particularly in neighborhoods with a large proportion of minority residents.
We're hoping that we will be able to get across the point that we need relational policing. And by relational, we simply mean community policing. We believe that it makes more sense when a police officer is discharging his or her duty in a community where he or she know the people.
And again, that forum takes place tonight at 7 o'clock at Beulah Baptist Institutional Church. There are a number of these types of forums taking place, or even more of them even scheduled in the days to come. And at the center of all of this is race. Coming up tonight on News Channel 8 at 8 on Great 38, I'm going to take a closer look at race relations in the wake of all that's happened across our country. Keith?
All right, Rod Carter reporting live in our Tampa newsroom.